is Jenny Mano, and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to learn all about pan pastels and chalk pastel pencils, one of my all-time favorite obsessions. I'm so happy that you're here. Let's get started. Hello everyone, Happy New Year! As most of you know, I have moved to a different state and I took the month of December into November off to unpack and get ready, but this is a sneak peek of my studio. Yeah. I'm about ready to film, but I thought, you know, people might want to see. Sorry about the lighting. I had to move my lamps to make it so that you guys could see, but it doesn't get all the light. And the light in this room is not great, so that needs to be replaced, but you know, I have these lights, these bad boys next to me. But I wanted to show you these because this is what we're going to use in the first lesson back. Woohoo, my pan pastels. My daughter, I had the idea of doing this, but my daughter, she executed it. And these are my pan pastels, and she's put label on the side of what color it is. She's also, I put the magnets on the back. She cut the cardboard, you know, it's team effort. And then she traced and wrote all the names on the thing. These are just galvanized sheets I got off of Amazon. They came just like that. I think they're 12 by 12. And that's the full set plus some extra because I had purchased some, you know, a couple kits, little smaller kits before I got the full set. And then these, you know, these are from IKEA. Super, I love, obsessed. The pegboards are from IKEA. These are from IKEA, these little carriers. Here's my soft tools over here. Here's where I keep all my felt. Oh, can you see it? These are all my little felt tips that are the foam tips that go on the pan pastels. But I have all my goodies, and a whole bunch of other stuff. I might as well just walk around. Here is some artwork. I still have so much to put up. You know, everybody has those drawers or cupboards or cabinets with all their learning stuff. And then this is all my supplies, plus a little overflow in the bonus room. It's not a huge room, but it's my room. And look, it has a door. It has a door. And I'll just show you real quick. We've had snow on and off. That's my view from my studio. Not too shabby, huh? Not too shabby. Love it. And then this is some more artwork. I eventually will have shelves and more artwork up on the walls right there. This is my gorgeous, like, soft salmon pink color. This is where Sid works. This is where I work. I moved all this stuff off my desk over here, my art desk, so that I could take this video, and then I just showed you anyway, so there you go. But that's it. This is my studio space, and I'm absolutely head over heels in love with it. So I wanted to wish everybody a Happy New Year, give you a sneak peek because so many people have asked, and you've been on this journey with me, and I'm so incredibly grateful that I was able to do this. So thank you. Let's get started. Hello. Okay, so I'm so excited, you guys. I took off that time because, as I said before, if you've been in my Next Gen group or if you're a patron of mine, I was starting to go down the path of burnout because I have filmed almost 300 videos in the last, you know, year and a half, 2 years. And it was just, I was beginning to become overwhelmed, not just because of work, but also because of the move. The move is a huge move and I needed the time, and I was silly to think that I could just take a month and get it all done and voila, everything would be fabulous. So thank you graciously. Thank you so much for waiting for me, for your patience. I do have some fire in my belly and I'm excited to share the new techniques and the new stuff that I've learned and just thought up and like fantasized about and practiced and played with and yeah, I'm back. I'm inspired and I'm motivated and I cannot wait to share it with you guys. So first out, I'm going to start a new segment on my YouTube channel. I want to do shout outs for my patrons. My patrons, I love you. I love all you guys. My patrons, you know, from the several tiers that I offer, they're amazingly supportive and kind and generous, and I'm super grateful for them because if it were not for them, then I couldn't do what I do, couldn't keep doing what I'm doing. So I worked in an art studio and I've been an art teacher for over 25 years. I've worked in the schools, I've worked in studios, I've worked in retreats, I've done all kinds of stuff. And, but I was always working for somebody else. Being able to make this leap from the pandemic when it started, and I couldn't go to work. I was furloughed for almost 2 years. I couldn't go to work. Really, I was already doing all of this, but it really lit the fire within me to take the leap and just try to make this full time. So I did. And because of you or the viewers, and because you participate with me constantly, and you've joined my Facebook page, and you've joined my Patreon channel, like, I'm able to keep doing this. And it was scary, you guys. It was scary. And I had to prove to myself that it was possible. Like, I was working a full-time job, and I was doing every extra hour and weekends that I had in the evenings doing this, filming these videos and creating content and creating art. And it just feeds my soul. And it's why I love making a difference. I love being able to provide and share what it is that I know knowledge-wise during creativity, and, you know, just like human nature and human kindness. And my goal is to inspire and to motivate, and to, you know, if I can make a difference, if I can change somebody's life. I know you think, oh, it's just art. It's not just art. It's not just art. There's so much more involved in just creating. The creating and the learning to trust goes and filters off into your life, into your real world, into your, you know, day to day. And I don't think people recognize that. I think they just, which is why they don't give it as much sometimes attention as it deserves, because it's just, you know, we were raised to think, oh, it's just art. It's you know, it's just creative. It's not math. It's not science. It's not, which is all very valid and necessary in the world. But you need to feed that creative spirit, be it art, be it dance, be it singing, be it writing, be it something. You have to be able to express and release. So being able to take it from, you know, working full time to cramming every evening and weekends into full time, because of you guys, because of my patrons, because of my followers on Insta, and also on Next Generation Art on Facebook, I can keep doing this, and I'm so grateful. So I've decided I have, you know, I started from November, which is when I took off, and I'm just going to keep doing shout outs. So if you are previous in November and you joined my Patreon channel, I'm so grateful. You know that, though. You know that, because I do wear my heart on my sleeve, because I think it's important to, that's how I connect. That's how I connect with people. And I don't think it's, you know, if I'm feeling love for you, I'm going to tell you I feel love for you. That's how I'm built. And I hope to spread a little bit of that in the world. So anywho, thank you for letting me spiel there. I just have had 2 months of, you know, not doing this. So here I am. Okay, so I'm going to start a new segment. It's called Patreon Shoutouts. I have Liza and Jenny and Angela and Lisa and Anne, and I think it's Johanna and Heather Jenkins, and then another Heather, and Tina, Ellen, Helen, Jean, Felicia. I don't have a name. I think it's just the first letter, last name. T. Delane, Beth, and Diane. And then Lisa, Johanna, Heather, and Jean, and T. Delane have become annual subscribers. They signed up. We do have that option. You can do annual subscription, and you don't have to worry about it. So anyways, thank you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, now let's get into the business here. Really quick, I wanted to pop in and say, my mom gifted me with a new pencil sharpener. If you followed me at all, if you haven't followed me at all, I am always in search of a new pencil sharpener. A lot of the reason is because I work a lot with pastel pencils, and pencil sharpeners and pastel pencils are not good friends. They are very persnickety, because it's a soft medium. It's very gentle. You have to be tender with it. You can carve it. You know, the best way would be to carve it with a knife, a utility knife. But, you know, that's really messy because it's a pastel pencil. It gets everywhere. So I don't know the name of these. It says Plato, Plato. They come in a 2-pack, and I got them in my stocking, E by Mother from Santa. And they have different size holes. They have, let's see if I can see this. Can you guys see that? I'm trying to make it so you can see. Maybe there. I can't see it though. It says small, medium, large, and then it didn't come with any instructions. But this is the one I use the most. That's why it's highlighted, or I have the black around it. But what you can do is, it's not just a one-stop sharpener. See, it starts to make it big. It's pulling away. What this one does is it makes the lead long, which is very delicious. You have to be careful. I can see that it's going to start to. And then I can go to the next one. So hopefully it doesn't break. You see it's starting to pull away. And go to the next one. And if I don't know if you can see it, but it's starting to, at the very tip, it's starting to create like a little like triangular shape. It's like it's thinning it out, but it's creating this groove in the pencil lead. I don't know, can you see that? Oh, okay. Yeah, you can kind of see it. Okay, and then you go to the last one. Let's see if it'll do it. This last one, let me go a little bit more on this one. This last one is supposed to see, look at that lead. Maybe you can see it better now. Yeah, this last one's supposed to refine that little bump in it so far and give you the pointy, sharp tip. And there you go. I'm in like Flynn, man. Look at the lead on that. Just be gentle whenever, if you're new to chalk pastel pencils. These are, I have mostly Fabriano Stabilo Carbothellos. Those are my favorite. And I do have some Fabriano's pastel pencils for mostly the skin tones. I'm not a huge fan. I mean, they're good, but I love my Carbothellos. These are, no, that's not it. Hang on. Let me find. Oh, it'll show up at some point. They're all mixed up now. But anyways, I have some skin tones for my Fabriano Castell pencils, chalk pastel pencils, but most of these are my Faber-Castell. Why do I keep saying that? Fabriano is not, that's a watercolor paper. Faber-Castell is the chalk pastel pencil. Stabilo is the, Stabilo Carbothello are the chalk pastel pencils also. My gosh, can you tell it's been a while? Okay, so I just wanted to show those. I will link these in the box below. I love them. I think you just take your time, you go nice and slow. It took me a while to figure out. I thought it was just one, like, okay, so if it's a bigger pencil, I put it there. If it's a smaller, I put it there. But in fact, it's like a progression. You start there, you start that, and you refine there. So that's pretty cool. The Blackwing graphite pencils, they have a similar chalk pastel or pencil sharpener. It just has 2 though. It doesn't have 4. It has like one that you start with. It creates that little nib at the end, and then you refine it. But this one has all 4. So far, I've used it on my graphite pencils, like just a regular pencil, and then I've also used it on my pastels. So yeah. Okay, now we're going to go into the info on a pan pastel. There's a lot to know. This isn't going to be a full course, but I will get you started in terms, if you really are somebody, I've seen a lot, why I started with pan pastel, came back with it, is because a lot of people keep asking for lessons. I do have some lessons on my channel, but I'm going to make a new one. Because you might be new to it and not have seen it yet, or just want to know more. So, but I do have some courses if you're interested, and I can link those too if you want a full fleshed out, like, 5 or 6 lesson course on pan pastels. I am obsessed with pan pastels. They are non-toxic, they are highly pigmented, and they are gorgeous to blend and play with. And they work on everything, you guys. They work over everything. It might, depending on the surface, there's different results, but they go over everything, okay? So that's very cool. What I'm gonna kind of just give you some substrates to work on. This is, now I can use these pan pastels on any substrate, any surface. Like I said, the results will be different for each surface, and you'll either have more or less dust, but when you use the pastels and the pan pastels, but you can work on any surface. Just get that in your head, okay? If you are working, if you don't have these papers right now to work with, but you have pan pastels, then you can use just a regular, like, Strathmore mixed media paper. You could use that. You could use a watercolor paper, 140-pound hot press watercolor paper. You can go directly on top of those, or you can lay down gesso first, a white or clear gesso, depending, or black if you want, and you can work on top of that. Now, the thing with pastels is that it loves a tooth. The pastels, both the pencils and the pan pastel, love to work on top of a tooth, a paper or a substrate that has a tooth on it. So I say you can use it on any kind of substrate. You can use it over anything, but the more tooth it has, the less dust there is. Okay, I'm gonna repeat that. The more tooth it has, the less dust there is, okay? So, but you can do it on anything. Okay, so be brave. If there's dust, there's dust. For a while there, it's not great to blow the dust up into the air, especially if you're using, like, let's say, you know, these guys, my chalk pastels, or these even, you shouldn't really blow them up into the air, which is where this comes in. This is a little mini handheld vac, which I'll link. You know, you just say you have like a little pile of dust. I'll just place this on top of it, turn it on, and then just gently pick it up and down. Don't do this because it has little feet on it, right? Don't do this, or don't scrub. Just pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, and it'll pick it up for you, and you don't have to worry about blowing it out of the way. When I first started, before I learned about this, or just, I think one of my members in Next Gen told me about this, I think so. It was, I used to blow it. No, I wasn't thinking, I didn't know, and now I don't blow it at all, just because it's not great for the, you know, for you to get it out into the world and to breathe it in and stuff. So you can, a lot of people work with masks and gloves. I do not. I don't make that much of a mess with it. I'm not like, you know, doing giant pieces, so I'm not too concerned about that. And I also have this, so I'll show you another tip. Whoops, another trick to capture the dust as well in a little bit. But let's see. With the pan pastels, they have what are called soft tools, S-O-F-F-T, soft tools, and they have several different tips on them. They have, you know, oval tip, like a square, and then a triangular tip. Now, what I have discovered, that because I haven't used these in a while, they get hard. They get stiff. Now, I'm pretty sure, I don't know, actually, I can't even say that. I can wash these to clean them if I choose to. Maybe that will bring them, I don't know why they get stiff. It's very interesting to me. I'm not sure. But maybe if I wash them, they would bring them back to life. Now, if I'm using them all the time, they just don't. But the air stuff, for some reason, without being used, they get a little firm, and it's just interesting to me. So I just wanted to say that. But they're S-O-F-F-T, that's the soft tool. And you can buy a set, I'm pretty sure. If you buy like the small set of pan pastels, you'll get at least one tool. Here's the tin. I keep all my little nibs and my blenders, the big, you know, big blenders and stuff. They feel and look like makeup brushes. So, and I've seen people use them, and it's been fine. It's been successful for the big pieces. I also get these really inexpensive from, you know, Amazon. They're just double-sided eyeshadow brushes, and I use these all the time. They totally work fine. There's also like this right here. When I was first experimenting, I grabbed, like, these were, like, if you go to Sephora or like a makeup store or whatever, these are lipstick. You know, you just test the lipstick and you can use those. And then these are these little fine guys. These are for like applying eyelashes, gluing on eyelashes. I'm working so backwards today. So these I use a lot for fine details. These, they work, but they hold a lot of pigment, but I'm not in love with it because it kind of just dumps the pigment onto it, as opposed to, like, I don't know. I don't really use those very much. I didn't like it. It doesn't smooth. It's not as smooth as I like. So, but these work really well. The soft tools, of course, work really well. I use these the most. And then this, I just wanted to show you, like, my friend, she's like, do you want this? I'm like, yes. It was just like a tin full of tea, you know, and she finished it up and gave it to me. And then there's, like I said, all these different size for, you know, tucking into corners, depending on what you've drawn, for doing large spaces. And then here's all my little tips. And I'm going to switch out my tips. I'm going to dump these really quick because that one's firm. I'm going to clean that, but I wanted to show you guys. So you just take that off gently, because I have, you know, been a little forceful and punched a hole through it. And just slide it on. Okay, so now you have two sides. Now, some people think that, like, if I'm going to use like all these colors, I need a brush, a soft tool for all these colors. That's not the case at all. That's one of the beautiful things with pan pastels, is that I can pick up, let's see, let me get this out of the way. I can pick up a color. I do, however, try to keep warm and cool. Like, I'll keep one of these for warm and I'll keep one of these for cool. But let's see, like, this is pastel paper. I'm not a huge fan of pastel paper. You go figure, but I wanted to show you. So I can come in and see, look at that. Look at can you see that? Yeah. This has got like a little texture to it. That's one of the reasons I don't like it, because I'm not a fan of the texture. But look at how far that went, you guys. And you can just keep blending and blending. And the layering with pan pastels is just like none other. It's incredible. So I can go and just wipe off I have my little microfiber. You can use a paper towel, anything. Just wipe it off, and then I can pick up, nothing left behind, and I can start to incorporate. And I'll show you guys, I'll do close up. Like, I don't like that texture at all. I do not dig it. I am not a fan of my mediums and my tools and stuff dictating what it is that I'm going to do. I'd rather decide. Ooh. So I don't know. Can you see the texture in the paper? I don't like it. You might love it. And which is weird because I'm a big abstract portrait person and I love textures and all that stuff. But it's more like what I've created, the texture I've created, as opposed to the substrate I'm working on that's creating it. So, but that's, so you don't, what I'm getting at is like, I will keep this as a warm. And then I'll have ones with blues and greens and, you know, on that one. But I can, you don't have, just maybe two. You don't need to keep going. And you wouldn't even need really two. You could just wipe it off in between. But just to, you know, have two, play it safe. That's what I'm going to do. And you just wipe it off and you're good to go. Okay. So this is pastel paper. It's by Canson. Like I said, I don't really use it. I got it thinking, I've had this for a long time because once I got into the journey of this, I thought I should have pastel paper. I'm not a fan. Done. Doesn't mean you won't be. I will of course link it in the thing so you can see underneath in the description box. Let me grab those. This is my favorite, and I have pastel mat, but I cannot find it to save my life, you guys. Shocking, I know. There's probably some boxes still in the garage that need to be unpacked, so it could be in there, but I don't really ever work with pastel mat. One, because it's very expensive, and two, because it's good, but it's very expensive, and it takes, for me, it's always taken a long time to get to me, and I don't, no thanks. This is stuff, and I love how this is. This is the stuff I love anyways. This is UArt pastel paper, sanded pastel paper, and listen, it's like, I could frown my nails with this. It's like sandpaper, but it's a very fine grit. It comes in 400, 600, and 800. It comes in light color, like a cream color. I don't have those. I only have the dark gray and black, but it comes in like a white and a cream color and this. And this is what I use. And I love to use the dark because I love, and you'll see, but I love what it does. If I have anything that's, I don't know if I still have stuff that's pan pastel. Hang on just a second, I'll be right back. Okay. Okay, so this is pan pastel and the chalk pastel pencils. Now what I was getting at is the black. I love working on the black because it leaves all of these little dark, it kind of is an instant shadow between everything. If you leave the background, a little bit of the background showing, it just creates instant shadow throughout. And I don't have to do the extra work. I can go in and make it darker if I want, when I would do that with a charcoal pencil, a black charcoal pencil by Generals. But yeah, and that's the other thing I didn't say. I always have a black charcoals General and then a white charcoals General, black and white General, because I love them and I use them all the time. But that's what I was getting at. I love the dark because it leaves all that shadowy bits if you don't just cover up completely. So that's what that is. Look at the dreaminess of these colors. Can you see without? Yeah. It's just, the colors are just so good. So good. So that is that. Now, if, like I was saying, you could use these. Again, you can use it on any surface, or you could, what's it called? Do, you know, Strathmore mixed media paper and go directly on top of that, or you could put gesso down and work on top of that. Again, pastels really like tooth. The more tooth on your surface, the less dust. Now, what's really cool about the pan pastels is that it doesn't create a lot of dust. It has a little, but not a ton. The chalk pastel does though, so that's why this little guy comes in handy. Okay, so I'm going to clean up a little bit. Well, first let me do this. I'm going to do some little mini things to show you how this stuff works, okay? And we'll finish off with like a totally abstract portrait, fun, fabulous, and maybe like something we'll do, I'll come up with some kind of fun little portrait to go with it. So anyways, I just wanted to, because a lot of people always ask, I'm going to do a quick rundown. So get your pencil or pen and a piece of paper if you want to know what it is that I'm using in this lesson. I might not use everything. I'm a girl who likes to have all her stuff around her when she starts, so if she changes her mind or gets an idea, she can grab it real quick. Okay, so this is orange tint. These are my skin tones. This is burnt sienna tint. This is red iron oxide tint. This is Diary Lied Yellow Tint, Burnt Sienna Extract Dark, Burnt Sienna Shade, Burnt Sienna Extra Dark. Those are like my skin tony colors. Do I have any others that I didn't grab? I don't think so. And I also really, really, really love red iron oxide. I use that a lot for hair and stuff. I just love this color. Love it. And then I figured out, you know what? I'll just do rainbow because rainbows are fun. So those are there. And then my rainbowy colors are Hansa Yellow Shade, Diary Lied Yellow. That's a weird word. Diary Lied Turquoise. And look at these colors sitting next to each other. Orange, Permanent Red, another gorgeous color. Then I have Violet, and then I grabbed my magenta because I'm obsessed with that color. And then I have Black, Neutral Gray Extra Dark, and White. And then my colorless blend. No, that's white. And then this is my colorless blender. I don't use this a lot. Doesn't mean I can't, but I don't use it a lot. But I wanted to pull it out so you guys saw it. It just has no color to it, and you just pick it up. Because I've seen some artists where they'll, you know, practice on a side piece and create colors and then use them. I don't know. I just feel like that's so wasteful. I can't wrap my head around it. It feels like it's like somebody, you know, using a piece of paper as a paint palette when it just soaks into the paper. It just doesn't make sense to me. But I wanted to share that with you because you might be somebody who's totally fine with that. So yeah, there you go. Those are the colors. Now I'm going to clean up and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm going to use the 600 because I'm going to do like the little abstract-y, portrait-y thing. I'm not going to draw anything. I'm just going to work with the pastels and my soft tools. I'm going to use the 600. I want something a little bigger. The small ones are a little too small for me to be as free with. So I just wanted to show you, this is a 600 pounds dark charcoal, and they all come with a little sheet like this. Now, you know, kudos to you if you can get that sheet to stay on. It lasts for a little while. It's just there to protect it because it is a pastel piece. And now I need to order more of that. But it doesn't work for me, so I'm taking it off because it's just a pain in the tuchus. So now, remember I said I was going to show you how to do another form of catching the dust. Some of the pastel artists work standing up at an easel so that all the pastel can just fall down. I don't work at an easel. I've never really liked working at an easel. I just don't find it comfortable. So, and then, you know, so this is what I do here. This is me taping the back side of this. Wow, this is very bright. I just want it to, it'll catch the dust, the looser dust that, you know, I don't pick up with my thing. You know, it is pastel, so you've got to remember there is going to be some level of mess working with pastel. Okay. Now, so the sticky part's exposed. Now I'm going to come through and just tape this down really quick. All right. Now, let's get this out of the way. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this is going to be quick. I don't want to think about it. I'm like getting in my head. I'm like, oh, I'm starting to panic a little because I don't usually work this way with pen pastel, but I'm challenging myself and I want you guys to challenge yourself too. So I'm going to pick up a color. I'm going to pick up this and we're going to, let me make room so that I can see. We're going to just kind of sketch out a face. Just the shape of a face. And then I'm going to come in. You guys, sorry. I'm just feeling a little about this. This is just the beginning colors, okay? You guys already can see what I'm doing. Just throwing out a face, throwing in some ears. There's going to be more colors involved. Don't be afraid. This is a new year, remember? New year. We're going to be brave. We're going to take chances, creative chances. We're going to be brave. Okay, so now I'm going to clean off my brush. And I'm going to come in with some of this red. Now I know where, see, I was starting to control it. No. I know where highlights and lowlights go. You know where the shadows are. So do you. Trust it. So do you. And if you don't, you will. How do we get there? With practice. I'm being a little too controlled and I want to stop that. No control, Jenny. Okay, you can do a little when you're trying to build a little bit of this is fun. When you're trying to build a little bit of depth, you know. I'll go in with like the blacks later. Okay, so this, I was just working with purple and the pink and the orange, so I'm going to keep going. Don't be afraid. Go for it. See the face starting to build up, you guys? Now, if you don't have pastels, you can do this with paint. You can do this with paint. I wouldn't say so much watercolor, but you can come in with acrylic paint. I'm cleaning in between. I'm going to grab my white. Is this my white? No, that's my colorless. That's titanium white. Oop, did you see what I just did? Old habits die hard. Putting in my highlights. You can do this with acrylic paint. And have some fun. Oh my gosh, you guys, this looks so cool in the camera. Okay, so now I'm going to go to my cool. I can control a little bit more what it is I want the viewer to see. You guys. I don't know if I want that. Let's go back to I'm also going to come in and do a little detail with my black and white Sharpie. You know, this is like one of my favorite colors to use. Okay, now I'm going to demonstrate this. I'm just going to lay it down, turn it on. But do you see how it's so minimal? The dust is very minimal with the pan pastels. And I'm also working on a surface that's very toothed. It's got 800 grit, which is super fine. The cool part too with if you work on the substrate of the pastel mat or the what's it called? The UArt sand, which is what I'm working on, you don't have to seal it. You don't have to seal it. I'm gonna grab a little bit of black. Just a tiny bit, I don't know a lot. Just in the darker bits. Look at that coming through. Now you'd think, why do I need to put black on top of this? Because look at the difference. This compared to this. It's much richer. Much richer. Okay, just by putting almost done, you guys. I'm totally in love. And I'm going to come back in with my white charcoal. Notice how I'm holding my pencil? I'm not holding it towards the end because I don't want control over this. Not like that kind of control if I was doing a realistic piece. Gosh, I'm so in love with this right now. I was very nervous at the beginning. Let's grab, you know what I can grab? I don't know if I want that though. Well, we're gonna go for it. I didn't grab any skin tones. I need my go-to skin. Having so much fun playing with my color. Now, I'm gonna come in here. Also the graphite, the General's graphite is a little bit brighter than the white of the Pan Pastel, so I like that one a lot. I'm going to come back in and use this for refining now. I'm going to come in and I have Celine Dion in my head right now. Why, you ask? I have no idea. What's cool about the Pan Pastels too is that they layer over each other really well. They hold their true pigment. Like look, I'm putting it over the black right here and it's barely moving the black at all. Oh my God, you guys. Yes to the please. Yes, please. Okay, so I'm going to sign it. Remember 2022. Pick up some of the dust, but you see, I don't know if you could tell, there's some dust that's collected on the sides here. Okay, so that's that. Holy schmoly. I'm in love. I love this so much. I don't want to stop. I don't want to stop. I don't want to stop. Okay, but I'm gonna, because I'm gonna switch out. Okay, so Another little tip I've learned from another pastel artist is I used to, and I still will, I do transfers. Sometimes if I draw, I'll draw something out and then I'll transfer it onto the paper, or you can draw directly on it. You can see graphite on it a little bit, but it's not super great. This is called the Wolf's Carbon. You can see it on the paper, and it also doesn't disappear very, like, it goes away, but it doesn't rub away as you work too much, so it's not as it's sturdier. And these are going to morph so much. Now remember, as you're working, you can come through here, go a little higher. You can also, the cool part about this stuff, you guys, is that you can erase. You can erase, you can erase, you can erase. If I don't like something, voila. Pastels, all this stuff, the chalk pastels, the pastel pencils, the pan pastels. Okay. Just doing a quick draw out. She looks very worried. Don't be worried, honey. You're in good hands. Now you can erase it if you want. You don't have to. I'll flip my paper so I can. It goes really well on top of everything. So the pan pastels, that is. Just a little. Now, remember, we're going to leave some of the black showing in between, right? This is again called the Wolf Carbon. Wolf's, WOLFF''S Carbon. Okay, so now, so one ear is bigger than the other. I like to draw small ears. I know they're not anatomically correct, but it's my artwork, so I can do what I want, right? Okay, so now I'm going to take my, because this is a smaller piece, I'm going to grab this guy, because it's got a point on it, and I'm going to start coming in with my skin tones. Let me grab them so that they're here and ready to go. Okay, so I always go in with either the yellow Diary Light yellow tint or with the orange tint. I'm going to go in with this first, and you can, oh, okay, there's a lot of dust there. You have, it takes a layer or a couple layers before it starts to completely cover the background. Just go slow. You guys see? Remember, you're leaving space in between each line / shape that you've drawn. Because you want that black to show through. I'm gonna draw in all that. So I have guidelines. At the beginning, she looks very scary. You're a little like, am I doing this right? It's a little crazy. I'm gonna grab this. Dust on that is all over. I get quiet because I'm focused. Right now, you're like, oh boy, She's completely lost. You're kind of working backwards, huh? You're filling in instead of fleshing out. If that makes sense. Look, it went right over that pencil, the wolf's carbon. I remember the ears, yay! I never remember ears. I'm always fine. I finish everything. Her face is all beautiful. Everything's done, and I look and her ears are empty on almost all the pieces that I do. Not this time. Okay, so I'm going to clean off. I'm going to pick up. I'm going to move that. Now I'm going to go to my orange tint. And I'm going to start fleshing out. Deciding where I want my highs and lowlights to be. But you can see it's starting to not be so translucent. You can see that you can't see the background as much now. There's many layers that goes into this, you guys. If you're going to pan pastel, it's a commitment to starting when you start a project. It's a fun commitment because wow, the magic that it creates is just like, yes, please. When I first discovered these, it was, my whole world shifted. Going from somebody who really did not like pastels because of their mess. Like I would refuse to use them for years. You know, I used them when I had to teach. You know, like I said earlier, I was been a teacher for over 25 years, but only because I had to. I never picked them up and used them in my own work. And not until I realized and discovered that chalk pastel came in pencil form, that right there changed my world. That's how it started, is with the Carbatello. Actually, that's not true. The Faber-Castell were my, because I bought some skin tones, you know, because I'm a portrait artist, so I did a lot of skin tones. So I thought, all right, I'll try them. And it took me a couple years before I actually used them once I bought them. And then when I did, it was like, oh, I used them sparingly. It was kind of like more for detail work. I wasn't really like, oh, let's draw a portrait with these yet. I wasn't there yet. See, look at what's happening. I know that the pencil's there too, but all these shadows are being built. And then I slowly got into, well, let's try this. Because I used to, whenever I did like any kind of watercolor or marker piece or whatever, I would finish it with colored pencil to, you know, refine and put in detail and that kind of stuff. And then I tried it with the chalk pastels, and it was like game over. Now, this is sandpaper. This is foam. You can see it's starting to, kind of, oh my gosh, destroy the tip a little. You just be gentle. It's going to happen. That's why I, you know, showed you these guys, because they're a lot less expensive than the refills on these soft tools, and they work just fine. Okay, so now I've filled her in. And now I'm going to start going in and creating the shadows. Putting in the shadows. And you might go, gulp. Whoa. But trust in the journey. Remember, this is pastel. It's highly blendable. And I don't, you know, I'll lay in some traditional color, like skin tone colors and stuff, but then I always go for my pops of color because I just love it so much. I go for traditional first and then non-traditional most of the time. Sometimes I'll just go straight in non-traditional and just go for it. Like I did my abstract piece. It was all color. All color. Just throwing in shadows. It's really great at fixing like oh, I went too far down, so I come back with the other color. It's kind of like if you worked with alcohol markers, when you start laying down color, you you know, you put your lightest color first, and then you put your second color down, and then you go back and put your light color back on top because you want to blend it out. It's the same kind of idea. Okay, I'm done. I'm walking away. Okay. All right, you guys, thank you so much. Yay, we're back. I will see you guys next week. Okay, bye.